different on. I don't think Peyton's arm is not there. I think his arm is still there. Peyton is not comfortable in his offense. Gary Kubiak did the one thing you don't do. He took away Peyton Manning's strength. He is not allowing Peyton Manning to make calls at the line. Everybody know, like, whether you bring up the one famous line, Omaha, everybody know Peyton is notorious for coming up to the line, changing plays with dummy calls, hand signals. When you take that strength away from someone that's as great as it with it, you're doomed to doom yourself. I think Peyton is going to catch a lot of flack because of that. People are going to consider him being done. He didn't lose it going down the stretch last year. He still was very accurate, very productive. Kubiak is just an idiot.
Well, a lot of the commentators on our favorite sports channels, whatever you deal with, they said it looked more like a Peyton Manning game than a Gary Kubiak game last week.
Yeah, but those guys also say a bunch of other bull crap. My man Marv Mitchell just put in that arm been left, been saying it for years. This guy just don't like anything Manning. I personally know this young man. He don't like anything Manning. But that's y'all opinion. We will see tonight. If we say his arm been left, but yet he been the number one quarterback in fantasy football purposes alone the last 3 years. I mean, let's just look at the start that he had last year. He started off incredible last year. Let's not go back to 2 years ago, coming off Baltimore Super Bowl win, where Baltimore opened up in Denver and he hit their ass for like 5 TDs, like pinpoint accuracy. So if that arm left, I'm scared to see what y'all consider an arm that's still around. Now, I will give you this. I did see something the other day before we go on to the next game, and I give you my pick. I saw Aaron Rodgers roll out the fucking pocket to his right and threw it up. Like it wasn't cross body, but it was damn sure feet wasn't set, nothing. And he threw that bitch pinpoint to James Jones, like directly over the defender, only into where James Jones can reach the ball. And all I can do is look at the screen and say that man is bad.
I mean, appreciate the comment, but let's wait till we get to the Packers game.
So I just had to throw that out there. If you talking about a good arm, I got Kansas City winning this one. Because of that defense, man. I think that defense with Justin Houston, Eric Berry coming back, Taba Ali, my man Dontario Poe in the middle. I think that defense is just nasty enough to slow down whatever it is Denver may try. I don't think it's a big scoring game. I do think fantasy purpose, J-Mac might actually score and break that wide receiver thing. If not, I think J-Mac will have a ton of catches in this game. He may finish the game with like 7 catches. and I think Jamal Charles will have a solid game. I think this will be a good game. And I got Kansas City winning it. This next game, I don't even know if we should talk about it, but we will. We got Houston versus Carolina. That's a long pause. That lets you know that nobody get 2 shits about this game.
That should be. It's an interesting game based on the fact that Carolina is Carolina, but the biggest story is with Houston. They named Ryan Mallett the starter today, who I thought should have started the season for him anyway. But remember, he was hyping up these Houston boys.
No, it was Tennessee.
You threw a point out there that we should look at Houston too, and I'm not too quite sure about that. Depends on how they play this week. It's all about in the quarterback play, but I got them going 0-2. Carolina taking it home.
Well, and with Houston, I was talking about like DeAndre Hopkins. If he's not on your radar in fantasy, you're not playing fantasy football. Like DeAndre Hopkins is a legit wide receiver stud. He takes the place of Larry Fitzgerald or players of that caliber. Of the last couple of years, when you say somebody goes out of the top 10 and someone goes in. He's like up there with Brandon Marshall or Larry Fitzgerald would have been. He's like the 5th, maybe 6th best wide receiver fantasy-wise.
Yeah, he is that type because of course they played Kansas City and they didn't really look for him until they got to the end zone, and of course he made the leap and grab. They threw it up where he could get it, and it was a touchdown.
He came down with it. Yep.
He was also on one of my teams, so I mean he's on my radar.
And then you got Arian Foster, who is probable for this game. That changes. that changes the whole concept of the game if Arian Foster play. But like you say Carolina. I'm going to go Houston because I think Carolina will find a way to self-destruct as they always do, and Carolina will drop this game.
I think Carolina is kind of over those stages. I think they're becoming a little bit more elite.
Bro, they struggled with Jacksonville last week. They backed their way into the playoffs. Next game.
You know me, I give teams breaks on week 1. So week 2 will determine the whole season for me.
Pittsburgh versus San Fran. They're in Pittsburgh. This game may be a game of the week if San Fran play like they played last week.
You know what? I was a little scared, but I did start high this week. I'm hoping he could get the job done. I mean, it's not the same Pittsburgh defense, but I don't know, man. It seems like I'm riding with the home team. The San Francisco game we watched. Oh, you didn't check it out, did you? It was Monday night game.
I caught it the next day.
Okay, it was a pretty grind out game. So, I mean, I still predict that High gonna put up the points, but I still got Big Ben with the win. He didn't have the best game last week either, though.
He didn't have the best game, but that damn Antonio Brown killed your ass left and right. I'm curious. I'm really curious for this game because the simple fact, I seen holes the size of living rooms opened up for D'Angelo Williams last week. D'Angelo Williams get to play again against the San Francisco defense that was impressive on Monday night, or was just Minnesota not ready? Also, I don't think San Fran offense, unless Carlos Hyde can control the ground again like he did the other day, I don't think the offense can compete with those weapons Big Ben has. I thought Pittsburgh would take a step back without Le'Veon Bell. D'Angelo Williams, minus having no touchdown, still got you 134 yards on Thursday. I mean, the boy was just running. They was running that HB counter left to right, and he just, yard after yard after yard after yard. And I don't see. I'm sorry. I know San Fran was very impressive on Monday. I just think they go back to being what we thought they were in the beginning of the season when all the papers were written. I don't see San Fran doing nothing. To get back to one last message from the message board, Marv says you can't throw Houston under the bus. Throw Houston out after 2 games. Lack of quarterback play holds them. When Sensei get back, it's going down. And if you guys don't know who Sensei is, that's our nickname for my man, Arian Foster, because he's always taking the ball. I mean, he's elite. Sensei does change the whole game. Look, we're going to be having a trend, and more people are going to be calling him Sensei after today.
Man, Sensei probably take IV bags in his sleep.
It's that hamstring, man. His hamstring is made of brownie paper towel.
So how can you back on that then?
Because when
he came back, he practiced today, but let's be real, he won't play until like week 4. You gotta be careful with these peanut butter brittle players.
When he's in the game, bro, 8 games with him is a whole different season. You can win 8 other games that he starts. Like he does so much for that team. And a lot of it is just straight being able to control the ball. He rarely fumbles. He fights for yards after contact. I mean, it is a different team with them. Next up.
I personally don't see the longevity. It's time to draft.
Next up. Tampa Bay in New Orleans.
Come on, man.
Somebody got to win this game. I think Drew. I'm not gonna spend that much time on this game. I think Drew Brees puts up big numbers against Tampa Bay this particular week. I don't trust Winston still, and I just think with New Orleans coming off a loss to Arizona, they just come out strong. Brandon Cooks and the rest of those young guys get it together. I say C.J. Spiller has a big game.
I got a question for you. Do I play Brandon Cooks on my draft Kings? Do I play him? He goes for like 5,500. do I draft this guy? I mean, do I play this guy?
At 5,500, and if you're gonna go stack somewhere else, hell yeah. But we gonna get into that after we get done with these pick'ems.
Gotcha.
Next up, Detroit versus Minnesota. Two teams come.
Hey, stop right there. What the fuck happened last week? I know you watched the game more than I did. What the fuck happened? I picked y'all to win on my pick'em and y'all lost. What the fuck happened?
Nah. You gonna do this to me on air. The problem with the Lions is Joe Lombardi, and I will talk about him in full detail on the NFC North wrap-up. I will not do that during fantasy. I can go all day, but we will talk about that in particular on the NFC North wrap-up show.
So I'm gonna give you one more chance, because Vikings didn't sell me last week. I'm going to still pick y'all as the second best team in the conference, and y'all better beat Minnesota or else I'm not fucking with y'all no more. I got Lions winning on the road.
I do too. Next up, Arizona versus Chicago in the Chi.
Arizona versus Chicago. I'm looking for it. Okay, I got it. I'm going to go with the Bears. No particular reason. I just don't care for the other team, but I believe Jay Cutler didn't look that bad last week.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to go Bears just because the simple fact their offense could move. If they actually start early and get up early, that offense has the stay power to go ahead and finish that game off. I got the Bears. Next up, this may be game of the week. If it ain't, it should be. New England travels to Buffalo.
New England and Buffalo. I have. What the fuck? I got Whoa. Okay. I think for some reason I got Buffalo picked here, but I'm changing this shit on the fly. I got New England.
Yeah, I got New England in a tight one. I'm gonna take New England in a tight one.
You taking it in a tight one?
Yeah. It's a division game. Next up, San Diego goes to Cincinnati.
I got my Bengals. They tight end looked pretty good too last weekend.
Tyler Efron.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if he was a sleeper or not, but he's definitely in a lot of people's starting lineups this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
the Bengals just because Andy Dalton and AJ Green. That's my tandem. It's like my third area team, so I mess with them hard. I want some playoff games, so they can stop talking about the redhead. So I got the Bengals. Hopefully they have a great season.
I got San Diego in that game. Next up, Cleveland.
They must have showed you something last week.
I just think Cincinnati go back to their ways. It's always a trend with them. Next up, Tennessee versus Cleveland.
Oh, that's easy, man. That is easy. So no comment. That's too easy.
Who you got, Tennessee?
Of course.
Yeah, I think Tennessee will pull that out. Next up, Atlanta versus the Giants. This may be a shootout.
I want to see who I put down because that might be a shootout. Atlanta and the Giants, I picked Atlanta to go to a 2-0 start for the first time ever. Well, I ain't going to say the first time ever, but you know how they are. Matt Ryan, just that guy. Going against I'm not a big Giants fan. I'm not a believer in the system. I think the coach should have been fired each of the last 3 seasons. It's time for a culture change in New York. And I predict 0-2 for them. So, at ATL.
I got Giants in the bounce back game at home opener. Eli comes out hot. Defense gives up.
Tell me the truth. You got an Eli Manning jersey, don't you?
Not yet. Not yet.
You ain't got one now. It's no point in getting it.
I did.
That's a lie. You gotta have an Eli jersey.
I did just order an Eli Manning pop vinyl bobblehead.
What what's that? That's gonna take over the new spot on the desk in the office.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him next to Calvin.